You're on the Unpopular Opinion Show with the Cajun conservative, Johnny Caruso. Welcome to the show.
Stood up there and said, you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. You campaign and double down. You would not raise property taxes.
I won't raise your property taxes.
You wanted to raise our taxes $300 million. They shut it down. Now we back here for $150 million. Okay. See, this is what we asking now. Since you want to crash out, some of y'all say y'all willing to go to jail for it. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this Negro right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want a forensic.
Ma'am, I would ask that you keep your, hold on a second, stop her time. Just a second. Stop her time. Ma'am, I would ask that you, if you want to continue speaking, you have to make sure that your language is appropriate, okay? All right.
We got Alex.
Okay, you can begin her time again.
You're going to spend our tax dollars to go, Michael Rodriguez, you said to take Trump to court to protect these illegals. That's cool, because we about to make all of y'all aldermen famous. Y'all think this is happening?
She said, we're going to make all y'all famous. Y'all took $300 million y'all wanted to vote for. They declined it. Y'all come back for another $150 million. Y'all are in a $1.2 billion deficit, the city of Chicago, and you spent half of it on illegals, and you got the nerve to tax the Chicago people more money. Look, you could start out saying we need extra services, so we just tax business owners to pay for these couple services. But when you tax business owners and tax business owners and tax business owners for services that don't even exist in the city, that you can't even see where the tax money is going, and you end up in a deficit, right? And then you have this political thing where you call yourself a sanctuary city, knowing that illegals couldn't make it to Chicago because they were piled up in Texas. And you were virtual signaling that, what they're doing, that Texas red state turning illegals back, is so terrible. Why would they let people who come in this country illegally and we not know who they are? Why would we not welcome them? They were virtual signaling. So the southern states, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, they all got smart. They said, okay, y'all want to do this whole virtual signal and be a sanctuary city? It's time to give y'all what y'all asked for. So they start busting them, shipping them to Chicago and all these other sanctuary cities. They became tons of them illegals over there. And instead of just waking up, realizing our resources, the little money we have, are to the poor, lower income of our society here in Chicago, they said, no, you know what? They could wait. Let's take care of these illegals. Put them up in hotel rooms, gave them debit cards, signed them up to vote pretty much, because they gave them a social security number. They gave them the ability to get driver's licenses and IDs. So what you think they did? It's a trip. They saw a money grab. And the thing is, I really believe it now. Black people vote too much Democrat because they know for a fact they don't have to work and tussle like with the other races. With white folks, you don't know if they're going to vote Democrat or Republican. Latinos, they'll vote Republican. But the black folks, like 90%, they all in for Democrats. So there's nothing they have to do for your communities to make it better when they got your vote. You got to make people earn your vote and work for your vote. The days of crying wolf and saying, well, that side, white, rich, racist. You got to stop falling for that shit, man. It's like a good little bait. They know how to catch you. Why would they change the bait? They catch you on the hook with the same hook every time. Come on, wise up. Just wise up, people. Just drive out of your location and go, not to a governor, but where a city is ran by a Republican. a nice sized city or a decent area population that's ran by a Republican mayor, I guarantee you it's 10 times different. I guarantee you the roads are cleaner, the schools are better, the crime is lower, the taxes is lower. But I know some people, they don't move around a lot. They don't know. But these people don't have to work for your vote. So now, and we're going to get into it next. But this next young lady, she's going to say, we need to audit this immigration money that you guys, $500 million that you spend on the immigrants, well, illegal immigrants, need to be audited. That's what she's gonna say. Let's get into that right now.
So it has already been determined that you don't follow the United States Constitution. And maybe that's perhaps because you're not a founding father and your name is not on the document.
She's cooking.
So perhaps if we show you something that your name is on, maybe you'll follow those rules. We got a rules of order and procedure, City Council, City of Chicago, for 2023 to 2027, with your name on it. However, we sit in here all the time and watch you violate our rights. We sit in here all the time and watch you allow City Council to violate our rights. Now we're going to talk about this budget, about the strange things that's happening. Because again, your name was on this executive order of May 2023. This executive order for immigration, migrants, and refugee rights. You caused all this money to go to illegal immigrants, not Harold Washington. You going to be held accountable for it. And we want a forensic audit of the money that was spent on illegal immigration.
Forensic audit. She definitely got away with words, boy. Need her on the campaign trail. Anybody running as a Republican in Chicago, you need her as your running mate or a spokesman. Blue cities that historically all the black folks always vote Democrat or ever gonna flip red. You gotta start putting some of these smart people like her into roles closer to government. I get it though. If there's almost like an 85% chance you're not gonna win, it's really hard for you to go and willingly lose money and run where you're gonna not only lose the race, but you lose your reputation as being a loser, and then you lose money, all the money you spent, So that's kind of why you don't see Republicans put that much time and money. They need to know the people are on board first, Once they know the people really on board, it'll happen. But they need to get women like this on the team. Brandon Johnson, they do not want the government in there showing audits and receipts of where this money for the illegals went. We know where it went, right? Let's not kid ourselves. We know from the USAID, all the fraud that we caught the Democrats up to in that shit. We know what's up with this. So let's go ahead and finish this video out. I think this shit is a trip. It's like a live comedy show. It really is a trip. It really is. And if you are only watching one side of the aisle in politics, you're not enjoying the show. You're just being mind fucked. You're being brainwashed. I'm a little bit conservative, but I ain't no diehard. I don't believe in Jesus. I believe in God, though. Yeah, I was raised Baptist. So, I may or may not fit all the way in, but I definitely align myself with conservative values. That's one thing about being a conservative. There's many different reasons you could be a conservative. It can align with your political views, or it can just align with your values, or you could just see it as a common sense party, not with all the stupid shit. So, you know, there it is. Let's finish this video out.
Trying to do everything but that, when in fact, that's where all the money went. So anything that you all pass, it's not genuine. It's not honest. Because you're trying to cover up where our money actually went. Now, it's been some strange voting going on. Let's talk about the fact that Taliaferro and Sergio Lopez, got extra money. Could it be because Byron Sergio Lopez wrote a letter on my behalf to help with my case, and so did Taliaferro? Could it be that they were told that they could get more votes if they blew my case? Whoa. Now, let's look at Alderman David Moore.
It's personal.
Who have been in here and listened to me talk about my probate all the time and haven't done anything. Could it be he planning a seminar with Lori and them, while at the same time selling me out? Because he's supposed to be getting a field house for his ward. We got something for you. Fridays, famous Friday, and we got another one. This is Chicago Flip Red. Chicago Red got you too. You got Chicago Red and you got Chicago Flip Red. And both of us getting that. So now, who's gonna be famous Friday? Pull this name real fast. Carlos Ramirez Rosa. Yeah!
Thank you very much for your comments. However, your time has expired. Our next speaker is Sharon Abbott.
Brandon Johnson, first of all, I hate to break your heart and vote for you. I'm a lifelong conservative. Nevertheless, your job is to represent all of the people of Chicago and not your own personal interests. On May 15, 2020, you took your oath of office and solemnly swore to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that you would faithfully discharge the duties of the office of mayor to the best of your ability. The U.S. Constitution, Article 4, Section 4, states that the United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of these against invasion. The preamble of the U.S. Constitution states that we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, and provide for the common defense. Likewise, the Illinois Constitution reiterates that the people formed our government with its primary role being to ensure domestic tranquility and provide for the common defense. Brandon Johnson, you have violated your oath of office. You have not supported the U.S. Constitution nor the Illinois Constitution. You have not protected the people of Chicago from invasion nor ensured domestic tranquility. You have also ignored the Declaration of Independence, which declares that governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. No one appointed a monarch to rule over the people of Chicago. Rather, as mayor, your duty is to serve the public, and you are bound by the parameters of the Constitution only to act by the consent of the people. Members of City Council, you likewise took an oath of office to support the U.S. and Illinois Constitution. You are also bound by the parameters of the Constitution only to act by the consent of the people.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is David Mason.
We have to remember history, because the number one thing that we know for certain is that history always repeats itself. So, Mr. Johnson, I know that you can appreciate with me giving you a history lesson with you being a former social studies teacher from Elgin. Well, you plan on going back to the classroom anyway. That was the whole purpose with you taking a leave of absence, right? Well, besides the mental reason. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. But let's go ahead and talk about history repeating itself. let's talk about taxation. Chicago has a tax for everything. Water tax, grocery tax, tourist tax, hotel tax, bag tax, liquor tax, cigarette tax, the highest sales tax in the country by far, parking tax, surcharge of downtown parking, property lease tax, and streaming tax. The only thing that you all don't have a tax for yet is oxygen tax. And the only reason why you don't have a tax for that just yet is because you ain't figured out how to do it yet. But let me not speak too soon, because you probably might actually think it's a good idea and you're gonna try to write it down. So let's go ahead and talk about, let's not forget about the good old sugar tax. Y'all remember y'all used to back in 2016 and you go to your favorite grocery store and you buy your favorite 24 pack of pop? Well, you paying more taxes on that pop than what the actual cost of it is. What you didn't know is that your buddy Brandon Johnson voted for that sugar tax. So it's not a surprise that he wants to pour a $40 million line of credit and put the city in even more debt than what we already are with the $1.2 billion deficit. But it's your fault that because you gave half the money to illegals. Also, it's lazy government is what you call it. So let's not forget that we gotta watch these politics. And I was at that Board of Czar meeting, and Tom Homan said out of his mouth that it is illegal to harbor and conceal illegal aliens. So like I told you before, that you ain't gonna blink, well, we ain't gonna flinch either. Now, I'm gonna tell you another thing. All you illegals, you ain't gonna have no Merry Christmas. You're gonna have a Merry Deportation Christmas.
All right, there it is, guys. I hope that Chicagoans can finally really come together and vote whoever, even if they wasn't expecting to win, whoever's on the ballot as red in that city, go ahead and vote him in. And then you're gonna start seeing him make changes and request changes. Now, he could have hell if they don't allocate money to his funds, because a lot of times they're not into crime prevention, they're intervention. So they get the NGO, nonprofit money, which if no one makes a profit, you know it's a scam. When they driving nice cars and nice houses, somebody's getting profited. So they let the crime happen, then they go over there and talk, oh, how bad it is, crime, and they get money from the government, federal government, called the community something fund. All that extra money goes to the police force, which give it in the community. Charleston White talks about it. Go look up that video. So they get this money for these NGOs who do what they call intervention, where they're going to intervene and talk to, the Bloods and the Crips after the fact. They don't want to do no prevention, because if you prevent crime, you can't get no more of this NGO nonprofit money. So they got to keep the cycle. Now you're getting it. There it is, guys. I hope you liked the video. Go ahead and give me a subscribe. I'm past up 100, but we're going to get to 1,000, baby. We're going to grind, hustle, nonstop. My 4 core pillars say get your mind right, get Raleigh girl right. That's my daughter. Enjoy your needed hobbies and get your grind and hustle on. But remember, get your mind right first and everything will follow. Have a good one. That was the show. Thank you for tuning in. If you agree or disagree, feel free to leave your comments in the comments section. This was the Unpopular Opinion Show. Go ahead and subscribe now if you haven't done so already. And I am the Cajun Conservative.